Hello and welcome to my channel, Distinctive Crochet. My name is Priscilla and I would like to thank all my new subscribers for coming to check me out and all my returning subscribers for spending some time with me. Alright everyone, and I am wearing the Silver Linings Crochet Summer Top by Denise of Black Ribbon Stitch Studio. So I will link her channel down below as well as the Etsy shop where you can find the pattern for this top. Isn't it beautiful? I was one of her testers earlier this year, so I think she did a wonderful job on this pattern, and it's super easy and quick to work up. Alright, so go ahead and check it out if you haven't already. Alright everyone, so today is Monday, so it is time to work our whips Monday. And so you all decided that you wanted me to go ahead and finish up my chunky knit sweater that I'm working on. And from last week, I actually ended up having to stop a little bit early because I realized that the way I was working the sleeves was not going to fit my arms if I continued on. So I decided to stop there and think it out. And actually, I'm really glad I did because if I'm being honest, I actually had a lot more mistakes than I thought. So I was glad that I took it out because actually the stitch I was doing on the arms, it didn't specifically say how to work those stitches. It just said continue to work evenly, or continue to work in, I think it said continue to work evenly for a certain number of rows. So, but it never told me like what stitch I'm supposed to be doing for the sleeves. So the way it looked, I was like, well, maybe this is a garter stitch. And then after thinking about it, I was like, well, I was thinking about how much yarn I had, and I was like, I know crocheting takes a lot more yarn than knitting, and I was like, but wait a minute, if you're doing garter stitch, it takes the same amount of yarn as a single crochet stitch. So I was like, if I'm doing garter stitch, maybe that's why I'm having such a problem with the sleeves being so short. So I looked at the picture again and I was like, you know what, I think it's actually the reverse stockinette stitch. So that means it's stockinette on the inside of the garment instead of on the outside, and you'll see the outside of the garment, which is the same, I got it right here, which is the same, what am I trying to say? It's the same pattern that's on the side of the cable. So, and that just helps the cable to pop more. So this right here, all the stitching right here on the outside of the cable is reverse stockinette stitch. So if I turn this over, you can see the knit stitch, the stockinette stitch. So that's what that looks like. And if you're, I mean, if you're not careful, like garter stitch can look like this, but it's a lot more dense. It's more dense and it's more squishy. And that's, and actually what happened is I didn't even think about that until I was already working up the sleeves again. And so I ended up taking out the sleeves again and turning it into the reverse stockinette. So that gave me a bit more, quite a bit more length. When I was redoing that, I was like, wow, look at it growing. I think it grew about 2.5 inches. That's just like a guesstimate because I put my finger, I was like, oh my goodness, that made a big difference. So I don't know. It's not like it's not a difficult pattern, but they're not it's not something that's word for word, step by step. So you kind of got to know what you're doing and have experience with other patterns to know. They do class, like this is out of the book Quick Knits, and it says over 50 fast and easy styles. So I mean, I guess it is easy because you're only doing a few stitches, but the pattern isn't written, I wouldn't say, for like somebody looking for an easy pattern or a beginner friendly pattern, I should say, because it's easy. It's just not necessarily beginner friendly. If you were a beginner knitter and you're trying to read this pattern, I wouldn't recommend it because you have to know, like, you have to know how it's worked and all that kind of stuff, because it's very vague in instructions. That's what I'm trying to say. So Yeah, but anyway, I got it worked out now. I'm hoping. So this is where I had so far. Actually, before I show you guys, I'm gonna show you the pictures of what it was before when I stopped last week. Actually, I think I didn't take a picture when I stopped. I had actually taken out because I was at the opening of the neck and I was working the other side, and I had to take that out. So I took it out to where the neck was at. I took it out to where the neck was at, and then I started working up more rows, and then I realized that I wasn't probably going to have enough yarn. So that's when I started thinking about, well, what can I do? So I ended up taking it all the way out, pretty much, almost all the way out. So let me put in a picture of where I was when I decided to take it out, and then following that, you'll see how far I frogged that. All right, here we go. Alright guys, so that was a lot, right? I kind of took it way down. But yes, there was actually another step in the pattern that I kind of ignored because I wanted it to be longer in length. And then when I saw how long it was already and I was still going to have to add more to the sleeves, I decided to go ahead and correct that and do what the book was saying. Because then it was becoming a little bit too long. It was almost like dress to the knee length. Almost it would have been if I would have kept going. So this is more of between, this is more of a longer, just a longer length sweater. So I'm happy with it, with the length of it, because I do like my sweaters to be a bit longer. But so that is, I guess they're calling this the back. So that is the back all the way done. And then I did the neck opening, and then I'm on the other side. So this is actually working the front now. So this is where I'm at right here. I did the first cable portion of that. So I'm kind of mimicking what's happening on the front. So I did this part right here, and then I have to come down to here, which is about 8 more rows, and then I'll be back into the color. So when I get done with that, the sleeves should be able to fit. So I looked at how it was folded over, and it looks like it's going to be wide enough for me to fit, because that'll be doubled over on the other side. So I'm hoping that it is going to work. I think it will. But anyway, that was kind of a long explanation of where I'm at. So I hope that gives you a good idea of kind of what I've been working up until this point. But the thing is, now this is the yarn I have made up. So I'm hoping that this will be enough to get me through those next 8 rows. I do have about 4 rows to go before I start decreasing with the sleeves. So once I start decreasing, that'll be a few less stitches on either end. So I'm hoping that'll help out too. Other than that, this might be a short working with one day, because if I run out of yarn, then I'm gonna have to stop because I have to make some more yarn. But I'm really hoping that this is enough to get me through the sleeves, because I do have the color at least started up. So I think this should be enough, because I did have another. Oh, here it is right here. It's attached to the sweater still, but I did have this left from the other side. So I think I should be good with that. All right. So anyway, that's where I'm at, and I'm about ready to get started. So go ahead and grab your whip if you haven't already, so that you can get ready to crochet with me, or crochet with me. So that you can go ahead and work on your project with me, if it's either knitting or crochet, because I'm knitting today. But anyway, grab your whip and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, guys? Here we go. Alright everyone, and I made it back. So great progress today. I got the sleeves all finished and bound off. Oops. So there they are. Oops, what is this yarn coming from? So there they are, and they do fit. I tried it on and it does fit. So once I seam it up, that'll be great, and I don't have to worry about that anymore. And so this is where I am so far on the front side. So I did another cable cross and a couple more rows after that. So that is what it's looking like. So pretty much all I have to do is the same amount that I did already on this side. So that's pretty much all I have to do, and then I have to add on the turtleneck, this part right here. So I think I got a really good handle on it now. So I'm super excited about the progress I have, and hopefully I'll be able to get it done this week. Hopefully. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take that off the options for Work Yours Monday. And I really need to get some progress done on my temperature scarf or slip stitch hat, because that has not seen any more progress either. So and let me know what you want me to work on for next week. Option 1 will be my temperature scarf, and option 2 will be my slip stitch hat. So please suggest an option for me for next week, and then also let me know what you guys were working on and how much progress you got done. And yes, so that is pretty much all I have for you guys today for this week's Work Yours Monday. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you leave that comment down below, and if you haven't subscribed already, please go ahead and do so. Remember to hit that bell, that way you'll be notified anytime I upload a new video. Alright guys, thanks again for working with me, and I'll see you in the next one.